What is up, guys? This is ChaseOliver68 here, bringing you my NFL Week 7 predictions. Today's games that I'm going to be going over. I'm going to go over the San Diego Chargers, my favorite team, taking on the New York Jets at New Meadowlands Stadium. We got a game in London as the Chicago Bears take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Which team needs to win more? Who will win? We have an NFC North battle and a new starting quarterback as Christian Ponder and his Vikings take on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And I'll be going over the AFC South supremacy battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. So first game I'm going to be going over, I said it, the San Diego Chargers versus the New York Jets. San Diego Chargers, let's go over them first. Offense, normally known as a high-flying attacking offense, this year though have been grounded. And what I mean by grounded is Phillip Rivers ain't be throwing the football that well. 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Ugh. Not that great year for Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers is known for more touchdowns than interceptions. But Ryan Matthews, first round draft pick last year from Fresno State, man, that boy is running now. He's finally proven he's worth the first round pick. Sharing the ball with Tolbert. Both two are kind of injury prone. Tolbert, he runs so low he always gets a concussion, and Ryan Matthews, it's always either his ankle or his wrist. I don't know what is it this time, but they're fine. They're practicing. That's good. Chargers also have been missing a valuable target in Antonio Gates, even though he's no longer the main target for the San Diego Chargers. He was still nice to have out there for Phillip Rivers to throw the ball to, but he's been out with that foot injury that's been bothering him ever since 2009. He's been having that foot injury problem, like no joke. Like ever since he got that foot injury, it's just been bad news for Antonio Gates. Vincent Jackson's having a hamstring injury, and Jesus, what fucking receiver doesn't have a hamstring injury nowadays? But offensively, the Chargers seem fine. They're all right. Defense, Takeo Spike's doing a good job being a leader. Haven't seen much of Corey Liuget in his rookie year. I was expecting a little bit more from him. Castillo's doing all right. The Chargers overall, defensively, we're all right. I can see Bob Sapp has helped us out a lot. He's not being too injury prone. He's getting interceptions for us, so I'm fine with Bob Sapp. I feel the Chargers defense is all right though. We're not like the best defense. The Chargers defense is you could easily throw on them, but at the same time you can also easily run on them. It depends on which San Diego you're going to get and how they're going to play on defense. And my keys to victory for the San Diego Chargers, if they want to win against the New York Jets, is Phillip Rivers. The reason why I'm going to point out Phillip Rivers as a key to victory is because the Chargers need to get a passing attack on them. The Jets are already the worst team when it comes to rush defense. They are the worst team. They have let up rushing yards after rushing yards. The only reason why they win football games sometimes is because their defense, when it comes to passing, is just phenomenal. They can stop it and stuff. They can stop it all the time. You can't always rely on the run, especially when you get a running back. He runs, he gets to the goal line, slips or falls, or someone catches him. Goal line defense is so much harder than it comes to actual, goal line offense. It's so much harder than actual offense on, let's say the 40. Yeah, it's farther away from the end zone, but at the same time you still have a lot of space to do more stuff when it comes down to being all packed up. You know what they're going to do, so what are you going to do? It's just a simple matter of it's just more challenging to get into the end zone. So that's why the Jets do so well when it comes to they allow a lot of yards, but they don't allow a lot of rushing touchdowns. So now let's go over to New York Jets. Offense. Their offense is just terrible. In my opinion, it's not the worst offense I've seen, but for their division, they're terrible. Now then again, they do have the Miami Dolphins, so Matt Moore and Mark Sanchez can talk about who sucks more in that division, because the Bills haven't figured out, and the Patriots haven't figured out. It just seems like the Jets can't figure out what they're going to do with their offense. It's so one-dimensional. It's not even funny. It's either hand off to Sean Green. Okay, Sean Green gets stuff. Sanchez sets back 8 steps, tries to throw a screen to LT and hope LT misses some tackles. Or Sanchez steps back, looks one way, looks the other way, throws it to Santonio Holmes, even if he's not open. I don't know. That's just how Sanchez is. It's just, I feel like I see the same thing. Sometimes he'll throw to Dustin Keller, and I talked about this in another prediction earlier on this year. Throw the ball to Dustin Keller. If you are having problems, Sanchez, throw it to Dustin Keller. I'm not a quarterback, but I've noticed quarterbacks that do throw the ball to their tight ends end up doing better in the long run in the future. Phillip Rivers was never the guy he used to be. Fuck. Phillip Rivers used to be like a pussy until he found Antonio Gates. He made Antonio Gates into a star, and Gates made Phillip Rivers into a star. Everyone talks about how great Phillip Rivers is. I don't think Phillip Rivers is that fucking great because he's always relied on tight ends. Same with Tom Brady. Have you guys noticed Tom Brady rarely throws to outside Patriots fans? You can depend. If you notice when he throws to the outside, it always ends up out of bounds. But he always has to throw it in the middle to his tight end and slot receiver. Just saying. Just throwing that out there. But besides that, Mark Sanchez, you got to take notes from these good quarterbacks and trust their tight end. Don't fucking try to be superhero. Who cares if Santonio's bitching and moaning? He's a captain on your team for a reason. He'll understand if you guys win a fucking Super Bowl ring. Defense for the Jets, allowing so much rushing yards, especially with their front seven. I was surprised about that. Daura Ribas and fucking Antonio Cromartie. Fuck Cromartie. I'm not gonna. Oh God. Daura Ribas and that gay corner number 31. Doing an alright job for the New York Jets. But in all honesty, the keys to victory for the New York Jets, I'm gonna put on their two running backs, Sean Green and LT. I feel they need to get a good rushing attack on the San Diego Chargers to win this game. San Diego Chargers are a good defense when they figure out what their strategy is. And if they're going to keep on doing these screen pass and all this other bullshit, it all comes down to the running backs. If you're going to hand off Sean Green on first down, Sean Green has to run those yards. If you're going to throw the screen to LT, LT needs to run those yards. They can't get stuffed. They need to make the plays for the New York Jets to win. Overall, what's my prediction? I'm going with San Diego. I just feel San Diego's matchup is better than the New York Jets, but hey, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being a Chargers mark, but whatever. Next up, we got a game in London, all cheerio. We have the Chicago Bears versus Tampa Bay, who apparently is very favored in London, and I saw a documentary on ESPN, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers is like the most loved team, and I don't know why, but it's just the most loved team in London. Let's look at Tampa Bay. LeGarrette Blount's out. There goes half of your fucking offense. I'm sorry, LeGarrette Blount was your offense. This guy came out of nowhere. Stud out of college, Oregon. Was undrafted free agent to the Titans. Titans are probably shooting themselves in the leg going, why do we keep this guy? Because Titans, dumbasses. Just saying. Not keeping LeGarrette Blount and having Chris Johnson and LeGarrette Blount together. Talk about a scary backfield. But besides that, LeGarrette Blount now is hurt. And he was never known as an injury-prone back. So I don't get why people say, he's always injury-prone. He wasn't injured before. They were just not using him until the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were like, hey, we'll take him and use him. And look at how that turned out. Josh Freeman, young quarterback, leading fourth quarter comebacks. Tampa Bay's defense needs some fucking work. I am sorry. That defense, if you expect to win a Super Bowl or even make a huge run in the playoffs with that defense, good luck with that. Because Josh Freeman ain't no Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady where he can hide their shitty defenses with their great. I'm not saying the Green Bay's defense is shitty. I know Patriots would say, but I'm just saying he's not that type of quarterback where he can throw touchdown after touchdown after touchdown every drive and make his defense where it's just like, his defense is okay. Josh Freeman ain't that quarterback, so it's going to be hard for Tampa Bay, especially without running back. Then you go on to Chicago Bears. Jay Cutler, still, I don't know where to throw up, still fucking freaking out because his O-line won't protect him. But they have a crown jewel in Chicago that is probably, and I'm just going to say this, fuck it, one of the best running backs right now in the NFL. One of. Not the best. People are going to reword it and say, oh, you say Matt Forte was the best. No, I said one of the best. Fuck off. One of the best running backs in the NFL, Matt Forte. And you're going against abysmal Tampa Bay defense. Need I say more? Chicago's defense, Merriweather apparently lost his starting job. I guess that helped us. But we were playing against the Minnesota Vikings. Come on. anyone can beat the Vikings with a decent offensive attack. And Jay Cutler did get some stats. Whatever. Devin Hester might be hurt. You know, the defense for the Bears is not really a Bears defense. We saw week 1 where it's like, oh man, Chicago's defense is back. And then all of a sudden they just went, pfft. And you can show by their record. Chicago really needs to step up here. This is a big game for Chicago. They can't lose any more games. That's pretty much it. They want to make the playoffs. If they have, if Bears fans like me, myself, have hope of us making the playoffs, we have to play hard. And Matt Forte, he's doing the best he can. Keys to victory for my side. Tampa Bay's key to victory is their rush defense. Their rush defense needs to stop Forte. Their linebackers need to watch out for Forte because mostly middle linebackers play man on running backs. Stop Forte. If you don't stop Forte, your team ain't winning that football game because Matt Forte, he's going to rumble all over your guys' ass if you guys cannot handle him. Then when it comes down to the Bears side, Chicago Bears keys to victory, I would have to say the Chicago wide receivers. If Matt Forte is being stopped by Tampa Bay, like I'm saying, you receivers, and I know Jay Cutler is many to blame for his bad passing. I'll say Jay Cutler does throw bad passes. But most of the time, Jay Cutler does throw some good passes. But Sanzenbacher, Johnny Knox, Roy Williams, bust. Fucking Tester will either misread their route or drop the ball. Catch the ball, get some yardage, show that Jay Cutler can trust you. So what if he's throwing the ball a little bit quick? Run some quick routes. Try to catch the ball. Just get some yards for your team. But pretty much that's what I got to say about that. Then, the next game I'm going to go over is Minnesota Vikings versus Green Bay Packers. Minnesota's offense is Adrian Peterson, and its defense is Jared Allen. That's pretty much you need to know. You don't hand the ball off to Peterson here, you're fucking screwed, Minnesota. You have a rookie quarterback going against Green Bay. Who knows, maybe Christian Ponder will pull out a win here, unlike Cam Newton, but Big Newtons is doing pretty damn good right now. Oh my god. Really, I just summed up what Minnesota is. Many Vikings fans will probably deny and be like, oh, well, we have this guy, this guy, this guy. Yeah. But without Adrian Peterson on offense, your team's pretty much useless. And without Jared Allen on defense, your team's pretty much useless. You guys are a two-trick pony. You either have to hope Adrian Peterson busts a huge yard, and you either have to hope that Jared Allen is not injured or gets a sack or an interception. I mean, really, to be honest, like, you do have some solid supporters. I can never say his name. Shenko. I can't fucking say his name. Shashenko, Harvin, you do have Harvin. Christian Ponder's a rookie, but it's just like really, and then on defense, decent core, but like, I'm sorry, I just feel that the Vikings before, Vikings after last year, I just realized they're kind of like a true trick pony, It's like you really are missing a good quarterback and missing another good receiver to make your team complete, because before, this team used to be complete when Brett Favre was there. That team was an ultimate complete team. But now, it's just like after last year, now your team is just kind of like a two-trick pony, and that's a bad thing. Keys to victory here for the Vikings. Offensive line. I know that's weird to say, but the offensive line needs to step up this game. They haven't been doing bad, but I'm just saying they need to step up and protecting Christian Ponder so he's not scared of big old BJ Raji trying to eat him up. You need to pick it. You have to make sure that Christian Ponder is comfortable in that pocket and can make good passes to your receivers. You need to make holes where Adrian Peterson, your star, to run up the hole and get you guys touchdowns and maybe even a win. But I'm not going to go that far. But let's look at Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers to Greg Jennings. Aaron Rodgers to Roy Nelson. Aaron Rodgers to Donald Driver. Aaron Rodgers. Fuck off. It's Aaron Rodgers' show down there. Fucking Aaron Rodgers is like a robot. Swear to God, he knows everything. He's just unstoppable right now. How can you stop this fucking man? Aaron Rodgers is just that damn good. And I don't think people understand that. He is fucking good. Running game is abysmal for it, but who gives a fuck? Packers proved we don't really need that much of a running game unless we play a really good team. We played some decent teams, and we played a good team before, but hey, we destroyed them, so really all we have to do is just have number 12 sit in the pocket, go, yo, I'm Aaron Rodgers. He already knows it's a touchdown. Every time that ball leaves his hands, he's just like, or he does his little, I'm a champion type of thing, He knows. Defense, do I have to even go over to Green Bay's defense? Although they've been not doing so great, they have been doing good against abysmal teams or decent teams. But when it comes to like a good team like a New Orleans Saints, or maybe a Fig Newton's Panthers, they have been having troubles. And yeah, I'm calling the Fig Newton Panthers a good team. The reason being they're a bad team is because their defense sucks balls. You have a great offense. Fuck. Steve Smith to Cam Newton, that's scary as fuck. And not only that, you got D'Angelo Hall and some stupid Williams or, I don't know, the other running back for the Fig Newton Panthers. And yes, they are now known as the Fig Newton Panthers. No longer the Carolina Panthers. Fig Newton Panthers, fuck the world. But besides the Fig Newton Panthers doing so well against the Green Bay's defense, their defense didn't do good against the Green Bay's offense. And that's the thing. Keys to victory for these two teams. I already said the offensive line for Minnesota. For Green Bay, it's your secondary. Because if you sleep Charles Woodson, Sam Shields, if you're still playing, whatever Packfield guys are not injured, you guys sleep like you did on Fig Newton's Panthers, you could have yourself some trouble with young little Christian Ponder. I'm just saying, I wouldn't sleep on this team. The Vikings are not a team to sleep on. They're actually a decent team. So, pretty much is what I'm getting at. But I'm going overall with the Green Bay Packers. Come on, who the fuck would bet them? Quick little thoughts on the Houston Texans versus Tennessee Titans in an AFC South supremacy battle. Texans offense, missing Andre Johnson. Receivers, step up, buck, keys to victory. That's them. The receivers are the keys to victory for the Texans. Defense, no DeMeco Murray. Oh, fuck them. I'm pretty much saying the Texans are screwed right now at this point. Against the Titans team that are coming off a bye week and are healthy. And if you notice one thing, and he'll be my key to victory for the Titans. I already said the Texans, Andre Johnson, without him, Matt Schaub needs to find receivers. And I talked about this last week. The keys to victory are your wide receivers. You guys need to step up and make it where you guys are Andre Johnson. Andre Johnson might not be coming back this week. If he does, he's coming in for 1 or 2 plays. But I wouldn't expect much. And that's the thing. Texans need to find receivers open. Matt Schaub, he's a good quarterback. But if you guys are not going to freaking work hard for the ball, even if he misthrows it, why the fuck should he throw it to you? He will have no trust in you. That's the key to victory. Arian Foster and Ben Tate are doing their best. And now we go over to freaking... And they don't even have DeMeco Murray on defense. Now we look at Tennessee's side of the ball. Matt Hasselbeck's on fire. He can throw to any receiver. He feels comfortable throwing to receivers because he knows he has a talented core of receivers. Defense for the Titans is one of the best defense in the NFL. Besides slipping on some games, they have been playing great football. They haven't allowed many points against a lot of teams. Now, when it comes down to offense, like I said, Matt Hasselbeck's doing good, but there's one guy, and he's the key to victory for the Titans. The Texans' key to victory is the receivers. If the wide receivers play well, the Texans can stay with the Titans and possibly beat the Titans. But the key to victory for the Titans, and this guy has had always big games against the Texans, is Chris Johnson. Chris Johnson right now is looking like a bust. Chris Johnson is like that guy right now. You're looking at him, and he's a great athlete. Don't get me wrong. I think Chris Johnson's a phenomenal running back. He's a phenomenal running back, but since he has had so much laid off time and rest and haven't been working out as much, he's not as explosive, not as good as he used to be. So he's kind of like And it gets you Tennessee Titans fans when I said earlier how stupid you were letting LeGarrette Blount go, thinking, damn, it would be nice if we had LeGarrette Blount because, LeGarrette Blount probably wouldn't have been injured or something because you guys would have had a bye week. LeGarrette Blount got injured a couple weeks back. You guys would have been fine. You would have had Blount, and LeGarrette Blount would have helped your offense out here. But now you don't have LeGarrette Blount. You have Chris Johnson and Javon Greener, and really, you need Chris Johnson to step up. You need Chris Johnson to get over, I don't know, 150 here. I know that's a big number for a running back. I know you're saying, oh, Chase, you're fucking stupid. 150 for a running back. But 150 yards is something I expect from a Chris Johnson game in and game out. I'm sorry, that's what I expect. If you're an elite running back in this league, in this passing dominant league, and you can always get 150 yards, that shows you're elite. That shows how good you are as a running back. Hell, I even want him to see 125 yards. But he needs to score some points and really show how dynamic and how good he is. Pretty much that's all I have to say here. So I'm going to choose the Tennessee Titans, my pick. And if you guys want me to predict the game for Week 8, comment down below. Subscribe up above for more content from me, ChaseOliver68. Follow me on Twitter, add me on Skype. Subscribe to my second channel, CO Live Videos, where I post non-wrestling and sports content on there. Pretty much that's about it. And I say peace.